Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining with me. Myself, Dr. Renuka Bhavsar. Today, I will speak on the topic fertilization and development of zygote. Now, this is the basic topic related to obstetrics. The students who are present here will know that I have completely told them all the topics related to the female genital organs. I have taught them every topic. Now we'll start with the basic. So how obstetric, as you know, it is a subject. It is related with the development of the fetus and the problems which the female faces during the pregnancy, and also the normal pregnancy and the abnormal pregnancy. So today we are starting with the basic things so that you can understand how fetus is developed, how placenta is developed. So today we'll start with fertilization and development of zygote. First, so what is the content of the today's topic? The fertilization, capacitation, zygote to blastocyst, how it is formed, how implantation of blastocyst occurs, trophoblast, what are trophoblasts, and what is desmoid. So this is the content. Now today we'll start with fertilization. Now, what is fertilization? Definition of fertilization is a process of fusion of spermatozoa with the mature ovum. Now, for this process, why this process is important? Because it initiates the development of the egg and to restore the chromosome number of the species. Why fertilization is important in each and every species? Because why it is important? Because the embryonic development of the cell starts after fertilization. And second thing, the species are restored. Second thing is species are restored. Now, what are the important things which are required for the fertilization? So what is required? An ovum is required and sperm is required. Now, ovum is required means what? A healthy ovum. There must be a discharge of healthy ovum from the ovary. So when this occurs in a female who is having a normal menstrual cycle, on the 14th day of fertilization, the ovum is discharged from the ovary. You can see in the diagram, the ovary is there, the ovum is discharged. And this ovary, the discharge ovum from the ovary, it goes within few hours inside the, it is picked up by the fimaria of the fallopian tubes and it goes inside the fallopian tubes. But only with the help of the ovum, so what is required for the fertilization? The spermatozoa is required. So what must happen? Healthy spermatozoa should be deposited at the vagina, in the vagina near the cervix. Now, many of during one deposition, millions of sperms are deposited at the vagina, and out of this millions, these thousands they travel inside the uterine cavity. As you can see the diagram, in the diagram you can see a uterine cavity. So out of this millions, thousands travel in the uterine cavity, and from these thousands, the hundreds of them go inside the fallopian tubes. And out of these hundreds, one of the sperm, it enters inside the ovum. And one sperm, when it enters inside the ovum, it fuses with the ovum. And what happens when it fuses with the ovum? The fertilization occurs. Now, when the process of fertilization to be completed, again one thing is required, that is called as capacitation. So what is capacitation? For the process of fertilization to be completed, one thing must be required, that is capacitation. And capacitation occurs in what? It occurs in the sperm and it occurs in the ovum also. Now, capacitation means what? The capacity of the sperm to enter inside the ovum. What is capacitation? Capacitation is a process in which the sperm undergoes multiple biochemical changes in the uterotubal canal. And these changes which takes into the sperm, that is called as capacitation. Capacitation ka meaning means what? It has only the capacity to transfer inside the ovum. Now, as I told you, the sperms are deposited inside the vagina. They travel inside the uterus. Out of the thousands, only 300 to 500 they go into the fallopian tubes. Now, when this go into the fallopian tubes, what happens to the sperms? What are the changes which occurs inside the sperm? This sperm head, it releases a multiple number of enzymes, mainly the acrosine and the hyaluronidase from the acrosomal gap. Now, what is this functions of these enzymes? This whole of this sperms which enter inside the into the fallopian tubes, what they do? They causes lysis of the corona radiata cells. You can see in the diagram, a ovum is there, and the sperms they are trying to enter inside the ovum. So what they do? They cause lysis of the corona radiata cells. And as a result of which, out of these hundreds of sperms, a single sperm, it enters inside the ovum. The out of this hundreds of sperm, what happens? One sperm, it enters into the ovum. As soon as this entry of the ovum, sperm, it occurs inside the ovum, what happens? A blockage occurs. That is called as zonal block. It is also called as ulema, means hardening of the zona pellucida. Zona, that is the covering which is present over the ovum, and it prevents the further entry of the sperm. So what happens? Only one ovum, one sperm, it enters inside the ovum. So as you know, one ovum is there, which is at the tubal ampulla, and sperm, out of that hundreds, a single enters into the ovum. And what happens? Further, the entry of the sperm, it does not occur due to the zonal reaction which occurs. It is going, and further entry is prevented. As soon as the sperm, it enters inside the ovum, it forms a male pronucleus. This is a haploid cells which is having 23X or 23Y number of chromosomes. And this male pronucleus, it is a small one. And already the ovum, there is a female pronucleus, that is a 23X. This both male pronucleus and the female pronucleus, they fuse with each other to form a single cell. And this single cell, it is called as the zygote. So what is capacity? So this is all about fertilization. And for fertilization, what is required? Capacitation. So in simple words, what is required for fertilization? Capacitation is there. So again, I will tell you in few lines what is fertilization. Fertilization of union is union of the sperm with the ovum. For the process of completion of the fertilization, what is required? A sperm and the ovum is required. What? A healthy sperm and a healthy ovum is required. The sperm and healthy ovum is required. Where does fertilization occur? It occurs in the which part of the fallopian tubes? It occurs in the tubal ampulla. And what is the timing when fertilization occurs? It occurs after release of ovum from the ovary within 24 hours, and within 24 to 48 hours after the spermatozoa, the semen is deposited inside the vagina. So in any time in between 24 to 48 hours, fertilization can occur. The fertilization can occur after ovulation within 24 hours. So this is the timing of fertilization. And for the fertilization to be completed, what is required? Capacitation. You can see in the diagram, uterus is given, timing is given, everything is given. Ovum is there, how the sperm enters. I told you millions are deposited. Out of that millions, thousands travel in the uterine cavity. Out of this 1,000, only hundreds go into the fallopian tube. When these go into the fallopian tubes, what happens? They cause release of enzymes, acrosine from the acrosomal cap and hyaluronidase. This will do lysis of the corona radiata cells. Lysis is breaking of the cells, and the sperm enters into the ovum. As soon as a single sperm enters, a reaction occurs, and this reaction, what happens due to? They prevent the entry of the further sperm. Formation of a male pronucleus, formation of a female pronucleus. Is male pronucleus and female pronucleus fuse with each other and to form a zygote or a single cell that contains the diploid number of cells, that is 46x6 or 46x5. So it leads to formation of a zygote. Next slide. Now to start with zygote to blastocyst. That is development of zygote from zygote stage to the blastocyst. So as soon as single cell is developed zygote, in this cell division starts. After fertilization, the first step for the development of the blastocyst or development of the zygote is it forms the two, that is cell division starts. So first cell division, that is called as the mitotic cell division. It starts within 24 to hours, or it is completed within 24 to 30 hours after the fertilization. It is divided into two cells. That is divided into two cells, and this cells slowly start moving towards the uterine cavity. Now, what is the how they are moved? What is the things which are required for the movement of this fertilized egg towards the uterine cavity? That is the peristaltic movement of the fallopian tubes, or the muscular movement of the fallopian tubes, and the cilia which are present in the fallopian tubes. So these are the two things which are required for the transport of the fertilized ovum inside the uterus. Then second cell division occurs in subsequent 12 to 24 hours to 4 cell stage. So what happens after 2 cells are formed? Then again the second cell division it occurs. It occurs to how many cells? 4 cells. After the 4 cells, then rapid division of cells starts, or a rapid division of the cell starts. It may go to 8 cells, 16 cells, then a complete ball of cells is formed. And this ball of cells corresponds to like a mulberry like, and this ball of cells is called as morula. This ball of cells is called as a morula. It looks like a mulberry. It is a fruit which looks, and this mulberry like or fruit like structure which is called as the morula, it enters inside the uterine cavity on the 4th day of fertilization. So where fertilization occurs? Fertilization occurs in the tubal ampulla. After fertilization, what happens? Mitotic cell division starts. First, that is 2 cells, then 4 cells, then even, uneven, odd number of cells also are formed. Then it leads to formation of a ball of cells. The ball of cells that is called as a morula. Looks like a mulberry, and this ball of cells it enters inside the uterine cavity on the 4th day of fertilization. It enters inside the uterine cavity through the uterine ostium. That is the opening of the uterus with the help with the fallopian tubes, and it goes inside this morula. It goes inside the uterine cavity on the 4th day of fertilization. So morula, then this blastocyst, now it floats on the endometrium of the uterus on the 5th and the 6th day. What happens? It floats in the endometrium. So see, you can see the diagram, the blastocyst. Now blastocyst is what? Outer layer of flattened cells. It consists of outer layer of flattened cells. And at one point you can see the cells are aggregated. So first what happens we'll see. On the 4th day, the morula it enters inside the uterine cavity through the through the uterine ostium. Then it freely floats on the endometrial surface. Now first you must know what is endometrium. What is endometrium? Endometrium, you know, it is the inner part of the uterus. Now what does the endometrium contains? It has 3 layers, a compact layer, a spongy layer, and a middle basal layer. So these are the 3 layers of the endometrium. Endometrium is rich in stroma, it is rich in glands, it contains glycogen, it contains all types of, it has vascularity, that means all types of blood vessels are present in the endometrium. So what does this morula do? And it goes on, when it floats on the endometrial surface, it imbibes the fluid. Or imbibes means takes the fluid from the endometrium, while the storage of glucose, the glycogen and water, whatever it is present in the endometrium, it takes the fluid from it and it expands. And it expands. Accumulation of fluid inside it. With accumulation of fluid inside. And this time what happens? The zona pellucida, which is the covering over the endometrium, over the blastocyst, that degenerates or it breaks up due to the excessive stretching of the cells. And this is called as the zonal hedging. It is called as zonal hedging. And morula expands with accumulation of fluid inside it. That is called as the blastocyst. In the diagram you can see that is outer layer of flattened cells are there, and at one cells the cells are aggregated. That is called as the blastocyst. If you want to recognize a blastocyst, you can just, it resembles like a football. You see a football, when you play a football, you see that is it has outer cells There are marks like this, batches are there. That blastocyst also looks like that. That is completely like a ball, outer layer of flattened cell, that is called as the trophoectodermal cells or trophoblastic cells. What are they called as? Trophoectodermal cells. Only you have to remember a football. How the football is there? Completely out. It has some cell-like structure there. Same way the blastocyst is also like that. And that blastocyst, that outer cells which are there, they are called as the trophoblastic cells, or also it is called as the trophoectodermal cells. And at one cells of the blastocyst, you can see the cells are aggregated. This aggregated cells, this is called as the inner cell mass. What is it is called as? It is called as inner cell mass. It may also be called as embryonic disc. And from this, here the embryo or the fetus develops. So flattened cells of the trophoblast or flattened cells of the blastocyst, they are called as the trophoblastic cells or trophoectodermal cells. And the cells which aggregate at one end, these are called as the, this is called as the embryonic disc. And these cells, they are the other cells at the embryonic disc, they are capable of producing the somatic cells. That is the, they are capable of producing ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm, all types of cells they are capable of producing. So the outer layer of flattened cells that forms the blastocyst, it is called as the trophoectodermal cells. This gives rise to formation of a membrane, and the cells which are aggregated at one end, that leads to formation of the fetus. Now implantation of blastocyst. Now see, this is the blastocyst. At one cells, the cells are aggregated, an outer layer of flattened cells are there. Now where does the implantation of blastocyst occurs? Where it occurs, when it occurs, how it occurs, what are the conditions which are required for the implantation, which hormones will be responsible, all this you have to see. So implantation means what? Attachment. Where implantation of blastocyst will occur. What is blastocyst? Blastocyst is a fertilized ovum, or it is a fertilized ovum. It is there. So where it occurs? It occurs in the endometrium. Endometrium of the uterus. Which part of the uterus? Fundus of the uterus, anteriorly or posteriorly. Where it occurs? It occurs on the fundus of the uterus, anteriorly or posteriorly on the uterine wall. And which day? It occurs on the 6th day of fertilization or a 20th day of the normal menstrual cycle. 6th day of fertilization means, if you say that fertilization, that is, if ovulation occurs on the 14th day and fertilization occurs on that day, then after that fertilization process on the 6th day, the implantation procedure starts. When does the implantation procedure start? On the 6th day. Or if she is having a normal menstrual cycle of a 28 day, means she's not got the menstrual cycles is, but on that 20th day of the menstrual cycle, when the endometrium is in the secretory phase. You know, endometrium is having three phases. First phase is a proliferative phase, second is a secretory phase, and third phase is the menstrual phase. So when implantation occurs, when the endometrium is in the secretory phase. What happens in the secretory phase? The glands, the stroma, the vascularity, everything is increased inside the secretory phase. So it occurs in the, implantation occurs on the 6th day or the 21st day of the menstrual cycle, when the endometrium is in the secretory phase. Now what are the steps by which implantation occurs? First step is opposition, second is adhesion, third is penetration, and fourth is inhibition. Opposition means where it is opposed. It is opposed on the uterine wall, as I told you, and the endometrium of the uterus on the fundus side. Fundus is the upper part of the uterus. First, you must know the parts of the uterus. Fundus is the upper part, the lower part, then the fundus is the body of the uterus, then the cervix of the uterus. So these are the parts. So implantation or opposition of blastocyst occurs on the fundus of the uterus, inside the uterus, inside the uterine cavity, anteriorly or posteriorly. Now the second step is what? Adhesion. Which part is adhesed? Which part is attached to the endometrium? The part of the blastocyst
where the embryonic cells are present or the aggregated cells are present, that site goes and gets attached into the endometrium. You can see the diagram. So where the inner cell mass is there, the green color, that is inner cell mass. The purple color, outer lining cells, these are trophoblastic cells or the trophoectodermal cells. And the yellow cells which are marked, that is called as the endometrial cells. So adhesion occurs at the site where the inner cell mass is present. Where the adhesion occurs, where there is the inner cell mass is present. Now during the process of adhesion, what happens? The trophoblastic cells, they emerge with the residual cells or the endometrial cells. Endometrium of a pregnant uterus is also called as decidua. So they merge with the, or they interlock with the endometrium cells. So the trophoblastic cells, what happens? They go and they get interlocked with the endometrium cells. And this interlocking, it is successful by the maternal receptability, because blastocyst or the fertilized ovum, it is not completely a maternal structure. It contains even the antigens which are derived from the father also. But mother's HIA, that is human, the leukocytic inhibin factors or all that factors, or peptine, all that factors, maternal progesterone, all that prepares the endometrium and helps in the adhesion of the blastocyst on the endometrium, or in the implantation procedure of the blastocyst on the uterine wall. So the second step is adhesion. Adhesion occurs at which point? Point means where the inner cell mass. Which part is implanted on the uterine wall? That is the inner cell mass. What is implanted? The outer trophodermal cells or trophoectodermal cells, where they are inserted on the endometrium of the uterus. What happens? Interlocking of the trophoblastic cells and the endometrial cells, it occurs. Following adhesion, the next procedure which is completed, that is called as the penetration. Now, how penetration occurs? When blastocyst gets get attached to the endometrium, it penetrates more and more in between the stroma and the glands which are present in the endometrium, and it is due to the histolytic action of the blastocyst. What happens when the endometrium, it is completed by the histolytic action of the blastocyst. So penetration occurs where? In between the stroma and the glands which are present in the endometrium. First you must know the structures which are present in the endometrium, then only you will understand. So what happens? How it penetrates? It penetrates in between the stroma and the glands in between the endometrium. Now the trophoblastic cells, which you can see, which are in the purple color, they start changing. Means their proliferative changes starts in that, and that in during this proliferative changes, this trophoblastic cells, it is formed into two layers. One is called as syncytotrophoblast, which is an outer layer, and one inner layer that is called as the cytotrophoblast. This syncytotrophoblast insert more and more inside the endometrium, and they continues with the capillaries. Means what happens? They erode the epithelial lining of the capillaries, and they open up spaces around itself. And these spaces which are around itself, that is called as the lacunae, and which gets filled with the maternal blood. And this maternal blood, it provides nutrition to the fetus or the developing blastocyst or the developing fetus, which is whatever it may be there. So this is the invading stage. So penetration occurs followed by invasion. So again you can see the diagram. This is the blastocyst, the outer purple color cell that are called as the trophoectodermal cells. This is inner cell mass. The yellow cells are the endometrial cells, and above there are stroma, glands, Haber cells, phagocytic cells. All that cells are present, and this blastocyst at the site of attachment is develops chorionic villi, which get directly attached to the compact layer of the secretory. So implantation occurs in which part? Implantation occurs in the compact layer of the secretory endometrium. As you know, the endometrium is divided into three parts. One part is the compact layer, middle spongy layer, and
basal layer, the superficial layer. So where implantation is completed, implantation occurs on the compact layer of the secretory endometrium, that is the superficial layer of the endometrium. Now, what are trophoblasts? As I told you, the outer layer of flattened cells of blastocyst are called as trophoblasts. Now this blastocyst, outer layer of flattened cells of blastocyst are called as trophoblasts. See, you can see, I told you, you can take into your mind that it is like a football. Now you can see uterus. You can see the red color per. So you can see the purple color cells. You can see the like pinkish color cells and green color cells. So the complete blastocyst you can see. The trophoblastic cells before implantation, trophoectodermal cells, they get differentiated into two layers called cytotrophoblast or Langhans cells and outer multinucleated syncytium or syncytotrophoblast, as I told you. So they get into two layers, syncytotrophoblast and cytotrophoblast. So cytotrophoblast or syncytotrophoblast, this is the outermost cell. See, you can see that are entering the syncytotrophoblast, which is seen inside the uterine wall. And this syncytotrophoblast and out inner, that is the cytotrophoblast. And you can see spaces around that, that is the called as the lacunae or the maternal space. Now this trophoblastic cells, why, what is the importance? It goes to forms, it proliferates. This proliferated procedure, it goes to form the placenta. It goes to form the placenta. The whole blastocyst, it is lined with the help of the tropectodermal cell. But at the site of placental attachment or at the site of the uterine attachment, it forms a fundus, chorion frondosome. It proliferates and it forms the chorion frondosome, and from this chorion frondosome it forms the placenta. And the outer cells of the blastocyst, which do not get nutrition, which are facing towards the uterine cavity, they form the, what they form? They form a membrane that is called as the chorion labi. Now first, when you are studying trophoblast, you must know what is chorion. As I told you, trophoblastic cells, they proliferate and they form two layers, outer syncytotrophoblast, inner cytotrophoblast. These trophoblastic cell layers, when they get lined with mesenchyme, they are called as chorion. What they are called as? They get lined with mesenchyme, they are called as chorion. And this chorion, this trophoblastic cell layers, when they are having finger-like projection, then this trophoblastic cell layer, which are like this trophoblastic cell layers, which are lined with mesenchyme, they are called as chorion. And this chorion, how they are developed? Now, chorion are developed in three stages. First stage, these are chorion developed into three stages: primary, secondary, and tertiary. They are called as villi. Finger-like projections. You can see in the diagram, the syncytotrophoblast, they are like appearing like projections. These are called as the finger-like projections. These are called as the villi. And when this villi gets lined with mesenchyme, it is called as chorionic villi. This is called as chorion. Lined with mesenchyme, then it is called as chorion. And villi develop in three stages. First stage, primary villi. In primary villi, nothing is present but only solid trophoblastic cell layers. Trophoblast means outer layer of flattened cell of blastocyst. Secondary villi, they are formed on the 16th day of fertilization. When they are formed? On the 16th day of fertilization. And what is this 16th day of fertilization they have? They have a mesenchymal line, means they are called now chorion, chorionic villi. And on 21st day of fertilization, what happens? Blood vessels appear inside this chorionic villi. And this time the fetal heart also starts beating, means a circulation develops when blood develops, since the blood vessels develop in the chorionic villi. So what are trophoblasts? Trophoblasts are outer layer of flattened cells of blastocyst, what happens? The flat where it gets implanted, that starts proliferating. When it gets proliferating, it develops into two layers: syncytotrophoblast, cytotrophoblast, syncytotrophoblast outer, cytotrophoblast inner layer. Then what happens? This, when it starts proliferating, it forms into finger-like projections. These finger-like projections are called as villi. Villi are developed into three stages: primary, secondary, and tertiary villi. Villi which are lying by mesenchyma, they are called as chorion. And with this, they are developed in three stages: primary, secondary, and tertiary. Primary on 12th day, secondary in 16th day, and tertiary on the 24th day of the fertilization. And the villi which face towards the uterine cavity, they form a membrane that is called as a chorionic membrane. Initially, it is called as chorionic cleavage. Thank you. हा? चांगलं झालं. एक पाठ राहिलं तर दिसत. एक राहिलं. हा, 10 मिनिटं लागली. हा, साहेब.